to still do it?
I guess I won't.
You can.
I can because it's the video.
Yeah.
Look, we're here.
Here we are. We're live. We're real people.
We are actually recording.
Is it take 2? Sorry, I moved the table. The take 1, we didn't actually
touch
hit
anything.
Record.
Well, no, we did hit record, but in the settings, we didn't have video going. So we just got this really nice audio recording, which I hope you all enjoyed very much. But we weren't here.
We were not visible.
We were not visible.
That's what you want, apparently.
Yeah. So we're going to do it again.
Okay.
So I'm Candace.
I'm Natalia.
And this is not a single fork, just another podcast about food and cooking.
Yes.
But we're keeping it real.
Real.
And we just finished guesting on another podcast
called Discipline Conversations by Joey Pince.
Yeah.
Pinz. It's good. It was nice. We'd never met him before. He found us.
Man, he did his homework.
Holy fuck. Like, he knew about Candace's t-shirts, and like, I was like, stalker, what's happening? But no, he just has seen our stuff and watched it and listened to it, and he loves our podcast. That's how he found us, and now he wanted to interview us.
Yeah, so we just spent about an hour and a half talking to him, and it was so fun.
So we'll be on his podcast about 2
weeks.
2 weeks.
2 weeks, he said, yeah. We spent a lot of time talking about food.
Well,
because it's his podcast. He doesn't have to talk about food.
Yeah, but he likes food too, you could tell. He's Italian from New Hampshire?
No, he lives in New Haven, Connecticut.
New Haven and Tampa, goes back and forth.
Yeah.
And he was a nice guy. Like I said, we'd never met him or talked to him before, and it was very easy to have an hour-long conversation. He gave us some many compliments. He, in fact, referred to us as the Run DMC of food. Podcasting, which we
about food.
Yeah, very. We were yay.
Yeah, I was like, okay, I'll take that one.
Yay,
I dig that one.
And he's Italian. His dad's Italian. He's Italian American, so he's been to Italy and he knows his shit. And he loves food. He doesn't drink coffee, which he could tell I thought was very odd. But hopefully he eats cheese.
He probably does.
And he had 3 really good tips for people who travel.
Yeah, and if you're going, well, you know what? I bet this applies to almost any place, but especially in Italy.
Yeah, because there's some cops you don't want to talk to.
Well, yeah, but here's what I was going to say, is that a lot of people have preconceived notions about going to Italy. And we hear, because we do so much Italian, and I'm so hooked on Italian in Italy, that we hear from our people who come to class about all the times that they've been to Italy and where they've been and the food they had and all this stuff. And he said he has 3 things that he tells people who are going to Italy in particular. But again, I think this probably applies to almost any foreign country, maybe even the States in some situations. What these 3 things to follow. So one is, if you're looking for a place to eat, ask a cop.
Not like a maitre d' or like a taxi driver, because it says they're
or a concierge, because they're all getting paid by someone to send you somewhere.
But that is the one tip I will say does not work in every country, because you don't want to talk to some cops in some countries.
Well,
they're not very nice.
Like where?
Mexico?
Well, it depends upon where you are in Mexico, I think.
Well, if you're in the local area, you're probably they don't want to talk to you. If you're going to Russia, you probably shouldn't talk to the cops. I think there are some aggressive countries
where you wouldn't, not like friendly countries.
Not like friendly countries.
But most of the time, I think people are proud of their food and want to send you to.
Yeah, I agree.
A place that
So that was the first one, but I think that especially for Italy, because like you said, everyone else kind of gets paid to tell you where to go.
Yeah, that's
and they don't get paid for that, so they're going to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
And then he said, if you go somewhere and the menu is in English.
Yeah,
it's a bad sign.
That is a very bad sign, because people, and especially Americans, don't know this. They have particular menus for Americans. Even in a good authentic Italian restaurant, they will cater to the Americans, and they will give you Italian American food, and it's not really authentic Italian.
Which is why also we hear like, oh, I went to Italy and the food wasn't as great as I wanted it to be.
Mm-hmm. And that's because you just went with the flow. And so if you see a menu in in English, I guess in American English.
Any kind of English.
English. That's not a good sign. You need the menu to be in Italian. So you can't read it and you don't know what anything is on it.
And surprise, you'll get something delicious.
Surprise. And, you'll just say, just feed me. Yeah. He said even better, if they have a chalkboard. And that means that it means the same thing here, that it means they change the menu all the time. So you're getting the freshest. And at the top of the chef's mind or whatever. Then what was the last thing?
The last thing was my favorite, and this is true in a lot of countries. I'm going to drink my coffee since you guys probably want me to be drinking a cocktail. But it's morning time.
I don't have any cocktails right now.
It's not a cocktail time.
Believe it or not, we're not having cocktails.
Drink the wine that's on the table. Even though here, like, the basket wine and the cheap wine is not what you want to drink. In other countries, it is what you want to drink, because guess what? They fucking make that.
Well, and it's really good.
It's good wine, and it's probably very cheap.
Oh, cheers. God, yes. Cheers.
Cheers to my coffee.
I have water.
Cheers to your water.
Yes. Cheers.
Coffee, water. They're both good for you.
Mm-hmm. In their own ways.
But that's not what we're talking about today, but we wanted to touch base with that because we just got
Well, we wanted to give him a shout out.
With him.
Yeah. We weren't on the phone.
We
were on the computer with him.
Listen to his podcast. I'm intrigued. He's got a lot of guests. He's got a lot of episodes.
All over you name it, he's talked to him.
This one is a human traffic survivor.
Yeah.
Woof, but I'm sure it's a really good conversation.
He's a very good interviewer.
He is a very good interviewer. Very good, very easy to talk to. It's so many things. 203 episodes. Again, it's called Discipline Conversations. I found it on Apple Podcasts because that's where I listen. I'm sure he's everywhere.
Yeah, I'm sure he is.
And even, you don't want to add a new podcast to your repertoire. At least listen to our fucking episode.
What?
Yeah. I just gave him 5 stars. Good job, Joey.
Good job, Joey. We liked you a lot.
We like Joey.
Yeah.
That's not what we're talking about today.
No, we're still talking about the pantry.
Oh, yeah.
We're back to the pantry.
Got to pull up that Serious Eats article.
I love Serious Eats. Wow.
Okay. Do you just get a
yes, I do. It's a great website. There is so much great information on it. Some of it's kind of, far afield and you're like, I don't want to hear about that. But so much of it, it's just really, it will improve your cooking.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's something people can subscribe to.
Yeah. So I subscribe to their newsletter. And so actually a couple times a day, I'll get a Serious Eats, blast about one thing or another. This last one actually wasn't the last one because I've gotten a couple since then, but
especially if you get them a couple
I
times
do. I get a lot.
God,
yeah. So it was talking about pantry items that are expensive. It didn't call them expensive. It said pricey pantry items, but they're worth it. And so, the thing that we like to do is look at these articles that people have written and they put out there for you to absorb. Are they really? It's not that they're not true. It's just that we don't necessarily agree with all of it.
Well, we're going to see how much we agree with. I was just moving my eyebrows around because they're looking pretty good today. Anyway.
That's the bad part about video is that you can see yourself.
You're like, my teeth, okay, my eyebrows. All right. Yes, I'm going in white.
It looks good though, doesn't it?
Villain myself.
Yeah, it looks good. It's Disney villainous.
Disney villain. Here I come.
I like it.
So let's see.
Okay.
How we feel. I haven't looked at this article yet. Have you looked at it?
I have. I've looked at it.
So let's see if these pricey pantry items you think are worth it. This first one is Graza Sizzle Extra Virgin Olive Oil.
Well, I looked at it in terms of these are expensive olive oils.
Did you see how much it was?
No, but okay, I know. But there are several. There are several that are quite expensive.
This one's $25. It's another one. Frankie's 457 Extra Virgin Olive Oil.
Yes.
Ooh.
So just in general, expensive olive oils. And it doesn't matter whether, they say this particular brand or there's some other particular brand, because you certainly can find expensive olive oils out there. But would you quit doing that?
What?
Oh my God, this another one. Oh my God, look at this one.
I'm saying, oh my God, everywhere you go, you can buy expensive olive oil.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Stores.
Amazon.
Everywhere. Yeah. Well, yeah, that's where half of those are from.
Yeah. So, the whole point of this for me is because people ask us all the time, what kind of olive oil do you use? And for cooking or for sauteing, for just kind of middle of the road stuff, nothing that's like some amazing preparation. I think just a middle of the road olive oil is fine.
Let's be honest, we should have brought it in here. The big ass jug from Sam's that says extra virgin olive oil, I buy that too.
Yeah.
I put it in a smaller container. That's all I cook with. I mean, ever period.
It's fruity. It's fruity. It's the flavor is not. I mean, it's not going to knock your socks off because it's a middle of the road olive oil. Yep. But there are places for big fat finishing oils.
Which is, would you say, are these expensive oils?
Yes, okay. Those are finishing oils.
And you're also talking about like flavored oils.
Well, they not necessarily flavored oils.
No.
I'm just saying in terms of it's like an extra virgin first pressed olive oil that is huge. It's big, fruity, flavorful olive oil that you would finish pasta with, or you would finish a steak with. Those kinds of things. But I think
put on at the end, like to throw on the table. So
you put it on the table and you give it a glug and that's it. You don't use a whole bunch of it.
So do you think it's necessary to have expensive olive oil in your pantry?
Well, I think that if you serve the type of food that would require a finishing oil, then yes. For most people, I don't think you need a big expensive finishing oil. What's their argument?
And I'm going to say in Tulsa, Oklahoma,
generally speaking,
we probably don't. I mean, I don't have big finishing oil. Call me superficial, blah, 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 da, da, da. I love the design of the bottle. Okay, come on. You're not just buying a book for its cover. I do that. Or wine for its label. I do that too. Twist the cap. My coworker says, and they don't really have an argument.
They just say they like it?
They like it, and they like the design of the bottle.
Okay.
That's stupid. That's a stupid reason to pay
for
shit.
Do not buy a $25 bottle of olive oil because you like the way the bottle looks.
The packaging is so satisfying. It's pretty perfect squeeze bottle that allows you to easily coat a skillet surface.
Okay, well that's for sautéing then.
Yeah, I can get
I'm not okay with that.
bottle of olive oil with a pour spout from Trader Joe's.
Yeah, no.
Okay, no.
That's a no.
Let's move on.
That's a no.
Tinned fish and cured meats.
Okay.
Whoa. $22 yellowfin tuna and olive oil.
I know that a lot of people love canned tuna like this in olive oil, and it's really amazing canned tuna. I mean, a really amazing tuna. It's like freshly canned. It's from Sicily. The same with sardines or anchovies. I do like a good anchovy.
I like sardines.
But all of these things so far, I think you have to have a specific application for them.
And a palate. Like if this isn't the way you eat, don't buy fucking $22 tuna.
No.
I mean, if you are a fucking tuna connoisseur, or if you eat tuna
or this
every
would be like
day,
for a salad niçoise.
Yes.
Okay. If you know what that is, that's why you would buy an expensive canned tuna.
Do you want to tell them what it is?
Salad niçoise is a very fancy, well, it's not really fancy ass. It's just a French salad that's got a lot. It has canned tuna on it. And I've had it.
Sound fancy.
No, I've had it with just canned, like chicken of the sea.
Oh dear.
It's not really very good, but it has has niçoise olives. It can have asparagus on it. It has hard-boiled eggs. It has a lovely salad vinaigrette. And the lettuce is they usually use like a bib lettuce, a very tender,
I do like a bib lettuce,
maybe with frisee, that kind of thing. But don't put chicken of the sea on it and call it a salad niçoise. Yeah. Now, I had it that way when I was in college because
college is different.
Graduate school, because a friend of mine was like, "Oh man, I found this new salad niçoise," and I was like, oh, "Okay." And we had it, and I was like, okay, yeah, let's table this one.
That canned tuna.
Table that canned tuna.
Okay, sliced prosciutto.
Well, I think that's pretty versatile.
Yeah, but I don't, again, I'm going back to, unless you're eating food like this all the time, this is not something you should just keep in your pantry.
Well, also, there are many different price points for
Yes.
prosciutto.
Yes.
If you can get one that is very expensive, prosciutto di Parma, if it's really a prosciutto di Parma, it's going to be expensive. But when I was in, let's see, it was in Martignacco, which is northern Italy, and they were preparing. I was cooking in the kitchen with them, and they had a particular creamy pasta that they finished with prosciutto. Now that's when you want a delicious, amazing prosciutto. But otherwise, you can, charcuterie boards. I mean, if you do that all the time and you make a lot of charcuterie boards, you want prosciutto.
Yeah, but
if you don't need it. Get ham.
And don't put it in your pantry.
Don't put it in your pantry. Put it in your fridge, please.
This is another tuna with olive oil.
They had sardines on there too.
Sardines and olive oil with chili peppers. Now, here's the thing with sardines. I think.
Okay.
Don't they last forever?
Yeah, I think so.
So if you want to buy a can of sardines and put them in your fucking pantry, then do that. If you're going to ever eat them. But some people don't like.
I think around here people mainly don't care for that kind of stuff.
They're delicious. I like sardines.
Now I love an anchovy, a good anchovy.
I agree, not a cheap
good anchovy. But I don't know that I've ever had a sardine.
Shut up.
No, I don't think I've had an occasion to have a sardine. I mean, I may have had one on a salad or.
I'm gonna buy a can of sardines.
Okay, well, we'll try that.
Yeah, no, sardines are delicious. They're very light. I mean, you eat the bones and everything.
Yeah. So, and aren't there like you have a white sardine? No, that's anchovies. A white anchovy or a black anchovy?
Yeah, no, I think it's all the same. It's just what they're in. Like this one's in chili and oil. You can get
them.
In
that
water,
sounds really good.
This does sound good. This can of sardines is $10.
That's a lot.
For what, like 3?
That's a little. That you probably get maybe 6.
Yeah, I mean, no, they're pretty fat.
Are they?
Yeah. Okay, I don't know what this is.
I didn't either. I looked it up. I mean, Urfa biber. It's
I've heard of
it's
biber.
A pepper. It's a dried pepper flake.
Sun-dried pepper flakes from Turkey.
Yeah. So it's another one of those things that, and I think it applies to almost everything in this pantry situation, is that if you like complex, or you like to add complexity to your foods, or you're really into creating some, not exotic, but something different, then I think a lot of these things are that you really get excited about.
I mean, I kind of like this. Says unlike Aleppo pepper, which is fruity and sweet, Urfa biber.
I think it's biber. I think it's biber because it'd be like Bearberry,
Bearberry, yeah. Isn't that a carpet?
Yes, but it's also an Ethiopian spice.
It has an almost smoky, chocolatey, raisin-like aroma that is deep and rich. It's great on eggs and pasta, chicken marinades, really anything you want. So
I think that sounds really good.
That does sound fun and good. And if you buy a bunch of different spices, and because this probably again lasts forever too, so and you just use a little bit.
Well, but the thing is with spices, they lose their potency.
They do.
So I would say, that kind of falls into the arena of specialties, not even specialty spices, but really good spices. I love really good, different spices.
And to have that variety.
Yeah.
I get that.
To keep them in your pantry, because they will, they're not going to last for years. They're going to last maybe 6 months. So don't buy a shit ton of them, but buy, 3 or 4 jars and play with them. There's you can go as simple as like a sweet smoked paprika, but then you could go to this pepper flake
and barrel fundamentals collection. It's a group of 6.
Yeah. Okay.
So silk chili, royal cinnamon, laurel bay leaf, smoked.
Well, my
pimenton.
That's you know what that is? That's smoked paprika.
Oh, just fancy name.
Well, that's the Spanish name.
Purple striped garlic and flowering hyssop thyme. Sorry.
Okay, here's the thing. You know how I am about sets.
Yeah, I know.
don't do that. Don't buy sets of things. We're gonna do a whole episode on that.
On a set of things.
On sets.
It's hard for me because I'm a sucker for packaging. So if the packaging is good, I'll buy.
Well, then you should buy the damn olive oil.
That's not in a set.
Well, no, but it's got great packaging.
No, it does not. Just because it's a squeeze bottle doesn't make it a great packaging. Not for me.
Okay, but here's the thing: don't buy sets
because you'll probably use one.
Because you'll use one or two of them, and the others you don't know what to do with. So don't do that. You can get on any number of these great spice websites like Penzies or Whole Spice, and you can buy individual bottles.
Yeah, or even next time
and make your own set.
Like,
well, they don't have as, you know what? The quality is just not the same.
That's true.
So spend a little bit more and order them.
Do you think even like at like a Whole Foods or like at a specialty store, maybe it would be a little different? Or no?
You know, they kind of, at least around here, they all have kind of the same brands, I guess is what I'm looking for.
They probably have the same like reps and like distributors and that kind of thing. So
yeah.
They stick with like the same brands. But I do think if you go down the spice aisle next time, like broaden your horizon.
Sometimes they have Ras Al Hanout, which is an interesting Israeli spice. It has a lot of, like warm spiciness to
cinnamon,
it.
Nutmeggy,
that kind, yeah. So things like that.
But look around, because I know even for me, like if you're going shopping, you go and you grab what you want, and then you get out of there, Or if you look and you're like, oh, I always get garlic salt. I never buy garlic salt, but I know that's a thing here. So I'll get my garlic salt.
A lot of people love their fucking garlic salt.
So maybe next time, just stop, take a step back, because there's a ton, and look at what your options are, and see maybe like, oh well, this, even if you start with something new that's $2, like try it, and if you don't like it,
then you haven't extended yourself that much. Get one, try it out.
That's right. That's our motto.
That's our motto for today, for this episode. So we're gonna say, stay fresh
and don't buy sets bag.